Hello to you all, exclusive Forex Academy students. Thank you very much for joining us. In today's lesson, we'll be talking about the basics of understanding the trend movements. We'll be talking about trend movements. Now, basically, that is better known as chart movements or chart movements. Okay. First of all, let me welcome you all, those who are our students and those who are not our students. This is the basic Forex education lesson. Now, welcome to our exclusive Forex Academy institution. We are in connection with the Global Forex Academy. Their slogan says, learn how to trade. And also we are in connection with Global Forex Institute of Africa. All of these three institutions, they all belong to one particular company called, let me just scroll to our company, our motherboard. This is the MFM group, better known as the MFMG, Financial Management Group. Now, for legal purposes, I just have to read our disclaimer. Sorry for not printing our disclaimer on the screen. For lack of time, I didn't have time to search the written down copy. So let me just read it to you. The MFMG group is a financial management group, but this management group, it is not regulated under the Financial Service Board of South Africa and also International Service Board. So definitely we are not offering any financial advice. We are also not offering any financial investment plan or schemes. We are not an investment company yet. Let me put that in brackets, yet, because we are in a process of regulations, and we are also in a process of registration. So for now, we are offering you what we call educational programs and educational advice, okay? But we are not giving you financial advice. We are just giving you educational advice based on financial management. I hope that you understand that. And be aware and notice that the financial markets are a high-risk market whereby your money is not 100% guaranteed. Your investment is at risk. Therefore, you might lose all your initial investments in this financial market. So the MFM group, it is a company that has other companies in it, like I've mentioned, your exclusive Forex Academy, your Global Forex Academy, and your Global Forex Institute of Africa, and the list goes on. So thank you very much for it. Let us go back to our basic lesson now, okay? Today, like I said, we'll be talking about trends movement, momentum of trends. We'll be talking about basically uptrends and downtrends, okay? What you are looking at now on my screen there, you are looking at one of my trading platforms. This is taken from the MetaTrader 4. This is what my trading platform looks like. This is one of my trades. This is one of the trades that I took. As you can see there, the pair is the euro and the US dollar at 5 minutes chart frame, and I took a position of sell, and I'm glad to say to you I did basically take profit on this particular position. But we are not talking about actually their positions and trades. So I want to talk to you about the graph that you are looking at. This is a 5-minute chart graph. And then what you are looking at there on your screen, I think you can see the numbers there, the codes, the price of the currency, and you can see the technical stochastic indicator there. But I want you to notice the black and white candlesticks there. You see that? And then there you have lines. Those are called trend lines. You have the red line, you have the blue line, and you have the green line. We are not going to be talking about those lines also. We are just going to be looking at the movement of this particular chart. Where is this chart directed to? Where is this chart heading to? Now, you know that in Forex trading, we are actually dealing about the supplier and the demand. We are dealing about the buyer and the seller. Now here, this chart represents the selling movement. It represents the downtrend. You can see that the line, the graph comes from the up left side. It goes down to the right side. Okay, it comes from above on the left side, and it is headed to the downtrend on the right side, the bottom right side. So when you see a chart moving like this, when you see your candlesticks moving downwards, up to down, this is what we call a downtrend. Now this is where you take your sell position after you have analyzed your technical analyzation and fundamental analyzation, after you checked your technical indicators and whatever the style of trading that you are using. After you have checked all those things, then you can take your position. But at this moment, I'm teaching you about the trend movement. Now this is a downtrend. When you open your chart and you are looking at the scene like this, you are looking at the downtrend. Okay, let's move to the second scene. Again, you are looking at what I call a downtrend. Okay, you can see that again this graph comes from the left up, heading down to the bottom right. Okay, and again, how do you recognize that a downtrend is at the highest momentum? You are looking at the formation of the candlestick. Now, majority of these candlesticks are bearish candlesticks, are sell candlesticks. They represent the selling power of the traders. Now, the bearish momentum is at high level at this point in time. Okay. So the black candlesticks indicate that this is a sell momentum. This is a downtrend position. This is a downtrend movement. Okay. The same thing applies here, and also our stochastic indicator declares that we are on the selling path system here. Again, let us turn around now. Look at another type of a trend. What you are looking here again, you are looking at the euro and the US dollar at 1 hour chart frame. And again, here I didn't take any position. So, as you can see now again on your screen, you are looking at now a different type of a chart. Remember the previous two charts, the momentum was from up going down. Now look at this one. The momentum is from down going up. Okay, whenever you read your chart, you must read it from the from the left side to the right. Okay, sorry about that. Whenever you are reading your chart, you must read them from the left going to the right. So when you read this chart comes from the left bottom and it goes to up top. Okay, let me add something on this previous chart here. Now another thing that you need to recognize here, to know whether this is a downtrend, this is a selling momentum trend, you look at the price of a chart. You know, you look at where the previous price opened and where the current price closed. So let's look at this chart here. You can see that when you look at your left side, they're up there at top. You can see there's a circle, there's a blue circle there, and there is a candlestick within that blue circle pointed by a white arrow there. Look at the line that goes straight to your pricing, to the side of prices there. You see that this candlestick was a little bit close to the range of 1.1456. Forget about that RF5 there, but you can also add it there. That is a base tape anyway. So you are looking at the price nearly touched the point of 1.1456.5. So at this time, you can see that the price was high than where it is currently at the bottom. You see now the price came from 1.14565, and at the current bottom where this chart ends, it is at 1.14246. You see that the price dropped. This is another mechanism that you can use to label whether you are in a downtrend or in an uptrend. So here, most definitely we are in a downtrend. Okay, let me repeat again. The graph that you are looking at, the candlestick formation, the chart that you are looking at, this is a downtrend chart. This is a selling momentum graph. It tells you that now the selling power is on. The bearish trend is at the moment. It is at this highest momentum. Okay. Let us move to the second part. Here we are talking about the uptrend. Again, to notice that you are in an uptrend, notice where that blue circle is up there, where those two lines, the blue and the red lines, are pointed at. You can see that above that particular line and the graph there, you can see that there is a stick, okay? And that shadow stick points that at one time the candlestick touched the point of 1.14425. Now, that is the highest point at this moment. But where is this graph coming from originally? Let's go back a little bit down there on your left side. Let's go down on your left side. You can see that the last, or should I say the first candlestick there is a bullish candlestick. It's a white candlestick. When you look at where the line is drawing underneath it, you will see that the price of this particular graph started at 1.13350, and it moved up. When we took a short screen of this picture, we took that particular price there. So most definitely this trend, it is an uptrend. There are three elements that you can notice: a downtrend and an uptrend. The first thing you can notice that the momentum of the chart or of the graph, it is a demand or the supply system. Now, the demand system is a system whereby now people are coming to buy. Okay, people are coming to buy. That is the demand system. Now, it comes from downward to upward. And the supply system is now the system where the producers are selling their products. Okay, this represents the sellers now, the producers of the product. They are selling the product. So what happens there is that the graph comes from up going down. Okay, so you will know your technical economics characteristics of a buying and a selling and equilibrium system there. So now here we are looking at the first system of knowing where your trend is heading is that first of all notice the movement of the chart. If the chart comes from the left bottom going up to the right top, that is an uptrend. And again in that uptrend, notice the price level. If the price from the bottom left was at about 1.13350 and currently is at about let's say 1.14330, that signifies an increase on the price level. That simply means this is a bullish trend, is an uptrend. The buyers are now coming in the market. They are buying in big numbers. The trend is moving up. Okay. And the third one that you can notice that this is an uptrend is most definitely by the candlesticks indication. The candlesticks that are representing an uptrend, majority of them, there will be white candlesticks pointing up. They go up. But there will be black candlesticks there which are representing the bearish, the selling power that wants to drive the market down. Okay. But majority of the candlesticks, they will all be white pointing up. Okay then. And then going to the bullish trend. Okay, the bullish trend the bearish trend. The downtrend. Now the downtrend, this is an example of a downtrend. Use those three again points, those three characteristics to notice or to identify whether you are in an uptrend or you are in a downtrend. First of all, the momentum of the trend must point down. How? It comes from the up left going down to the bottom right. The candlesticks, they must be all indicating black. They must be black. Majority of them, they must be black. And again, it doesn't mean there will never be any white candlestick formation there. There will be, but the majority of the candlesticks, they will all indicate the black color. Now they indicate to you that now the trend is coming down. And the other thing to notice again is the price formation of the candlesticks. They will give you a price, okay? If the price was at around 1.14565, and now you are noticing the price is at 1.14246. This is a decrease on the price. So this decrease on the price indicates that the price is going down. This is a sell trend. This is a downtrend. This is a bearish trend on your chart. Okay. So now there you are. You understood the two types of trends. We are having an uptrend and we are having a downtrend. We will be talking about another trend called the resistance trend, but at this moment we are not going to go deep on the resistance trend. We are just busy with the uptrend and the downtrend, and I'm showing you different pictures of uptrend and downtrend. I intentionally started with the MetaTrader chart because this is where majority of our traders all over the world they use. So familiarize yourself with this picture here that is in front of you. That is how your chart will look like. But ignore the trend lines. Those are my trend lines. Majority of you beginners, they don't understand those trend lines, and the stochastic, again, those two trend lines, most of traders as they begin, they don't understand that. But we'll touch all of these things. All of the things that you are seeing on the screen, we will touch them. You will know. We will talk about that. We will do lessons about that. But for now, notice the three elements that I gave you. The pricing of the currency, whether the price goes up or going down. The two types of candlesticks, whether the candlestick is bullish or bearish, meaning black or white, depending on the color of your candlestick. Sometimes the bullish represents the the green and the blue colors. Sometimes other traders they color their bearish candlesticks red, or some they color it what is this other color that they normally use? It is red. Majority of let me say the majority of traders, they use the bearish candlesticks as black and red. They color it black and red, and then the bullish candlesticks, majority of traders they color their candlesticks as green or blue. So it depends on your system what color you prefer. But this is my trading platform, so I use this one. I stick to the MetaTrader color. I didn't change the color, but I usually use the blue or the green and the red. And my background usually becomes black and so forth. We'll talk about those things later. So you have noticed those three elements. Then you can start to read your candlesticks, add your trend lines, read your patterns, your candlestick patterns, look at your stochastic, your EMI, average moving platforms, and things like that. But we'll talk about those things later. For now, notice what I've shown you. This is another example of a euro and the US dollar pair at 1 hour chart. This is in a chart that represents an uptrend. Again, you notice that the trend comes from the bottom left and it goes up to the top right. So this is what we call a uptrend, a bullish trend. This is a uptrend market. At this particular market, the market is going up. You are looking at the market that is going up. How do you notice? Again, I repeat myself again and again and again. You notice by the increase in the price of the currency, what we call the base currency. You notice the price in the base currency. And then you notice the price in your candlestick formation pattern. You also notice the color of your candlesticks, and therefore you have the whole entire spectrum of where the trend is coming from, where the trend is going, bottom, up, bottom, things like that. Okay, this is what we call an uptrend. Do you notice that? Do I make myself clear on this issue? Again, this is an 1 hour chart frame. The pair is the euro and the US dollar. And you are looking at an uptrend movement. This is a bullish trend movement. This chart is going up. How do we know that? We know that because in our screen, or on our screen, we can only view the part where, now currently, this is where currently our screen is showing us, okay? We didn't go back, we didn't go and research where this particular trend started from. We are looking at what our screen currently is showing us. We are trading on this current movement of the chart. We are noticing that the screen shows us that the price was at this level of 1.6685. From 1.16685, the price moved to up there to 1.17810. So now, is that a decrease or increase? That is an increase. So the minute you check your prices and your prices, they show an increase on the movement of the chart. That gives you an indication that this is an uptrend. And again, we can see that on our screen, on our chart, we are looking at the chart started from the bottom left and it moved up. The candlesticks, they moved up to the top right there, to the top right there. So again, the candlesticks that are in majority of this particular chart here or trend here, they are mostly white and they are indicating going up. So that is another indication that you are on an uptrend when you start to trade without using your technical indicators. Okay. Let's move to another picture there. Again, we are looking at on our screen, we are also in 1 hour chart frame. The pair is the euro and the US dollar. Now notice again that we are looking at our screen. This is a shot of our screen. Now when you trade, this is what your screen will show you. Unless you want to reverse going back to previous dates and previous times to check where this particular trend started from. But as we are trading now at this current moment, we are noticing what is in front of us. And what is in front of us is that we are looking at the bullish trend now. So the bearish trend. You know, these names, they are kidding us here. Bearish trend. Now, a bearish trend represents a downtrend, a selling momentum stream. Okay? 3 things that you need to notice. The first thing is, majority of the candlesticks in this particular chart, they are black and the graph is pointing down. How do you notice that the graph is pointing down? By understanding that system that I introduced, which is you look at your graph entirely from these 4 corners and you see that the graph comes from above the left side, that top left side, and the graph goes to the down right side. So this is an indication that you are on a downtrend. Okay, you are on a downtrend. You are on a bearish downtrend. You are in a selling momentum stream. Okay, again, the other thing that you can notice is the prices. You look at up there on your left top corner, the prices were, or the price were at 1.60910. The price now currently is at 1.15785. Now, is this an increase in the price or a decrease in the price? Most definitely, this is a decrease in the price. Now, that tells you this is what? A downtrend. A downtrend. Okay? Let's move to another chart. Now, I borrowed this chart from one of the institutions, so I'm going to use this chart also. Now, you look at this chart. What do you see? The candlesticks are in a different color, like mine. You see, mine are black and white. let me scroll to the biggest one here. There it is. This is my chart. This is my Metaphor trading platform. Now my candlesticks are black and white. This is the original. As you download the software, this is what you're gonna get in your software. Now you have a color coded candlestick here on this particular software trading platform. Now the trader here decoded his colors to green and red. So the red still represents selling, bearish, downtrend, and the green represents bullish and uptrend. Okay? So now look at this. Can anyone, before I give you an answer, tell me what trend is this? Where is this chart coming from? Where is this chart going to? Or what do we call a chart like this? Give you a second there. Yes, to those who have said this is a downtrend, it is true. How did you know this is a downtrend? It is because you look at your four corners of the screen, you notice that the chart began up on the top left corner and it's going down and it reached the point of a right bottom corner. And again, as it does this, because you can't see the prices there, but you can see that the movement was going down, so automatically the price was up there. Now the price is bottom here, is down here. And again, you see that the red candles are in majority. So now they represent a downtrend. The green candlesticks are at minority in this case. So that is another trick that you can use to notice whether you are in a downtrend or in an uptrend. So let's just say this at this point again. You need to use a big screen to notice the proper momentum of the trend, to notice whether this is a true downtrend or uptrend. Because some other momentums, you will see a resistant momentum going as up, looking like it's an uptrend, and when you take a buy position, you notice that no, it was a false alarm. That was not an uptrend. That was just a big resistant pattern forming there, and then automatically when you take a buy position, the trend goes down and then you lose your money. So you need to enlarge your screen to see, to broaden, to widen your screen to see whether you are actually in an uptrend or in a downtrend. Another trick that you can use is to go to bigger time frame charts like your 4-hour to weekly to monthly to see whether you are in a downtrend for real or in an uptrend. But if you are scouting, like using your 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minute chart, you are scouting in those time frames, you can actually look at just the trend system, whether the trend is going up or going down in your own chart. Then you can scout there. But if you are long position trader, you take long positions, meaning institutional swinging trading system, you need to refer to your long time charts, high time frame charts like your 4 hours to your monthly chart to see whether you are truly in an uptrend or in a downtrend. So those who have said this is an uptrend, no, you are wrong. This is not an uptrend, okay? An uptrend, the graph has to be twisted in an angle form, and this will be an uptrend. What is an uptrend? Let me just stick to this particular chart here. What is an uptrend? An uptrend is when the prices of this particular graph will start from lower price to an upper price. That is an uptrend. Now the chart will begin from the bottom left going to the top right. At this current moment, those who said this is a downtrend, they are 100% correct, because the chart started from top left, and the graph is going down. The candlesticks are moving downwards. They are doing a pattern that is pointing down, and the price there started from higher. Now the price is at low. So that's how you notice your downtrend. Again, look at this particular chart here. You can see now this is not so clear whether the trend is going down or what. But again, for as long as the price started higher, before you came in the market. Let's say, for example, you are entering the market now. You just logged in your MetaTrader or your software, and you are presented with a chart like this in your face. Whether this be a 5 minutes, 1 hour, or daily or weekly. Again, if you are using less time frame chart that you want to see, go and refer to your higher time chart frames like your 4-hour, weekly, and monthly chart frames there to see whether you are truly in an uptrend or a downtrend. But at this case, you can notice now that you have been given this particular screen, and you are noticing that the trend began at the top left, and the trend is heading downwards. You can start to analyze the markets by going to your fundamentals to see what is being reported against your financial instruments that you'll be trading on, or your trading market, or your financial market at that time. Notice what the candlesticks patterns are telling you, your price formation is telling you. Notice your indicators, and after that, when you are truly sure that this is a downtrend, you take a position and then you sell. Okay, because this is a downtrend. Again, you notice by many bearish candlesticks forming. You notice by the price coming from up going down, negative price formation. You notice by the trend coming from up there from the left going down to the right bottom. That's another tricky chart there for you. Before I explain this chart, can anybody at their own or in their own try to explain what is this chart representing? Uptrend or downtrend? Alright. This chart represents two types of system, but we are not going to be talking about that other type. I'm just going to introduce it for now. This is what we call a reversal trend pattern. This is a reversal trend chart. You can see that the chart was in a momentum of downtrend. The chart was going down. You see that it comes from the left, moving downwards. But then something happened. You see that type of a candlestick that pins down there. We'll talk about that one later also. We'll be talking about the candlesticks pattern and candlestick construction and candlesticks formations and names in other lessons. But for now, notice the trend. Then the trend started to move from down going up. Again, you notice that the trend comes from the bottom left and is going to up top, or the top corner there, the right top corner there. This is an uptrend again. How do you notice? Majority of the candlesticks that are forming here are all green. Majority are green candlesticks. Notice previously what type of candlesticks were forming before the uptrend. There were majority red candlesticks. This is another trick that you can use to identify whether you are in a downtrend or an uptrend. Again, the price, you can see where that candlestick shadow hit, that reversal candlestick shadow. It points that it touched the ground. It nearly touched the ground. So the price was at that bottom. Now the price has increased up. That's another trick that you can use. Okay, let us jump to this particular one. Okay, thank you. Let us move on. Again, this particular graph also is one of the graphs that I borrowed again for educational purposes. So now look at this. You are looking at the graph formation. Now this is tricky because this graph goes up and it came down and it looks like it's going up. What do you call this particular chart here? This graphic image in front of you. Is it a uptrend, a bullish trend, or a downtrend, a bearish trend, a selling position, or is it a buying position? If you are scalping, you will use this as a selling and a buying position at the same time. But if you are seeing you are long taking positions, you are institutional trader, this is strictly an uptrend. This is strictly an uptrend. I will talk about the pattern here. I will talk about what is going on here. But let me just show you those three red points. You see that line drawing underneath? down to the bottom of this particular graph. When this graph touches the red points there, the 3 red points, they represent a trend line. They show you that the line is going up. Now that gives you an indication that this is an uptrend. Okay, never ever miss it. Understand that every time when you trade, use your trend lines. They will guide you whether this is an uptrend or it's a downtrend. Let me use my 3 fundamentals. Basically, there's no prices here, but I will try to add one. Look, the chart began at the bottom left side, and it worked itself to the up top, and it nearly touched it crossed that top line. You see there are lines crossing through this chart. Those 5 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, or should I say those 4 lines? Sorry about it. They are crossing through the chart. The top line, you see that this particular momentum touched it, and it came down, reversing down. So when it touched that particular power, it was at the highest high, and when it came down to touch, we call it the highest low, and it went up again. You see that? So we'll talk about the higher and the low, the higher lower on this particular chart frame later on, or on this particular lesson later on. So now the trend is still an uptrend. It comes from bottom left going up to the top right. So it is still an uptrend. Again, this is a borrowed chart for educational purposes. I will use it also. Look at that. There is what we call a trend line. You see that line on top of this chart and those red points there. Now, this particular chart represents a downtrend chart. How do you know? It is zigzag, obviously. But when you draw the line is going down. You see that? The line is touching what we call the higher low, and it goes down to the lower low. Again, the lower high, the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and lower low. Again, the momentum is going down. Okay? The momentum is going down. That is what we call our resistant line, our resistant trend line. We'll be talking about those things later. So, okay, let me jump this one again. Let me come to this one here. Again, what is this line represent? Look at the chart in front of you. Can you tell me, are we in a downtrend or in an uptrend with this particular graph in front of you, your eyes? Again, I'll give you a second to decide. Okay, we are in a downtrend. Again, use the very same 3 analysis that I gave you to determine whether you are in a downtrend or you are in an uptrend, or whether you are scouting or whether you are swing, or whether you are taking long positions, or you are an institutional trader, day trader, whatever trader you are. Notice the 3 things that I've taught you today. The first thing is, notice that the chart presented before you starts from which direction? Bottom left or top left? And from top left, your chart can never go to top right. Your chart will always come from top left to bottom right, unless you are in a resistant mode. A resistant mode will always be consistent in one level or on one level, but the price will never go as far as above or as less as downwards. The price will always fluctuate in one circular movement. But when you are in a trend movement, your price will always move from up to bottom or to bottom to up. And at this present moment, you are presented with the chart, and this chart is telling you that you are in a bottom or downtrend, or you are in a selling momentum situation. Because the chart started from top left, it is going down to the right bottom, okay, or to the bottom right, or whatever the case may be. Now, notice that there are indicators on top of each corner of this particular curve of a trend. Should I use the name a trend 10? Okay. You see there are lines drawing there. The first line there at the top, it represents the highest point of this trend. Now we call it the lower high because we are in a negative trend. We are in a sell trend. We are in a downtrend. We are using the terminology like lower, and in a higher trend, in an uptrend, in a positive trend, in a buying trend, in an uptrend, we are using H, higher of higher, lower of low in terms of negative and positive. Now, here at this particular moment, because our trend is going down, the highest point it is called the lower high. And the lowest point of that particular same line or same candlestick formation line, it is called the lower low. And then again you go up. Again you are giving this like a wave pattern. The first wave up there where the wave turns is called lower high. And then down here when the wave turns from down going up is called the lower low. And then when the wave gets up there and the wave turns down again, that is called the lower high. Okay, because this is a downtrend. Okay, because we are going lower, lower. The price is going lower, 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 lower. The price will go low and the price will go high again. Price goes low and high again. But for as long as the momentum of the trend is pointing down, we are not going up. We are pointing down. Definitely we're using the terminology called lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, because we are drafting waves. Okay, we call this Elliott waves. We are not going to be talking about the Elliott waves now. We'll be talking about them later on in our advanced classes then. So let's move to another example. Okay, I have explained this. This one indicates the Elliott waves and the higher low and the lower low and the wave patterns. Okay, let's jump it again. The same thing here. Okay, I want you to notice the correction of this trend. There at the bottom, you see there is a turn of this particular trend, the way it is indicated lower low. The last indication of LL there is called lower low. So now you see that the trend goes up. The trend goes up. Still, at this particular moment, consider yourself to be in a downtrend unless and until this particular chart starts to reconciliate or correct itself. Okay, until this chart starts to go up and break all those lower low levels. And once it starts to break those lower low levels, it creates what we call the higher low levels and higher high levels and things like that. Okay, now let's look at the uptrend. Can anybody tell me why do I say this is an uptrend? Using those three analyzing systems or analysis, using those three characteristics of spotting or pointing whether this is a downtrend or uptrend. Again, the graph starts from the bottom left going up to the top right. That's the first one. The second one, obviously the price started low, now the price is high. Thirdly, because this is a line, you are using now the Elliott wave, because this is not a candlestick chart, this is a line chart. You are using Elliott waves. Now you are calculating your 5-pattern wave system. Okay, now you can see that there is what we call a higher high and a higher low. 1, higher high and higher low. 2, higher high and higher low. 3, higher high and higher low. 4, and then the trend reversal comes. Or you can start from as less as that part which I have jumped. Now there will be 5 steps of the correctional wave pattern. Okay, but this is an uptrend nevertheless. Okay, this is an uptrend nevertheless. Now there we go. Let us look at those indicated wave points there. You can see the first point up there where the curve turns. It is HH. Now that represents higher high. That is the highest point of this trend at this particular moment. Because remember, this uptrend starts from the bottom. It goes up. What you see on the screen is a complete trend. Okay. But let's say you are trading. You open your MetaTrader. You are trading. What you see from bottom there going up. It is not going to be there. This is going to be a blank screen. Now you're going to work out what's going to happen up there. So what you're going to do, you're going to draw your trend line from what it is given in front of you. If you are given only these 3 points, from bottom there going to HH and coming down to HL, that's where you see when you start to trade. You have 2 points and 2 points up. What you're going to do, you're going to draw a line from the first corner point down there, which is just nothing there, to that HL, and then you move your line until to the top corner on the right side. And again, you do the very same thing on top there. Where it's pointed HH, you draw a line from there or from bottom there, from the bottom line there. You cross it you cross it along HH there, that corner of the HH. You cross it along and you draw it up to the top corner there. Now, whenever the wave pattern is drawn by the buyers and the sellers, your line will either touch what we call your support trend line, or it is going to touch what we call our resistance line. Okay, because now we are in an uptrend. The top line, it is called the resistance line. There on that HH, you see the H pattern there, HHH, those 3 HH. When we draw, or those 4 HH, when we draw our trend line against them going up there, that trend line is called the resistance line. And underneath it, where you see the HL, when we draw our trend line down there, it is called the support line, because we are in an uptrend. So that's what you will be seeing when you trade. Okay, so now the first top corner, it is called the highest high, and then the bottom down corner, it is called the highest low, because the trend is moving higher and the trend is going down. So the higher the point, it is called the higher. The lower the point is called the highest low, because we are in an uptrend. We are using higher in both cases. Up and down is high, up, down is higher, low. Higher, high, up, higher, low, down. Higher, high, up, higher, low, down. Higher, high, up, higher, low, down. Okay? Okay, let me just do an example with this one. I don't have a chart indicating the downtrend. Now again, in the downtrend, that HH will turn into LH. And then the bottom will turn into LL. Okay, now because we are in a downtrend. Now a downtrend will look like this. The trend line will come from the top corner on your left side to the bottom corner on your right side. Now, the side on your right side, the top side on your right side, the top side on your right side, okay, the top side on your right side will be the support line. And the bottom side on your left side, the bottom side on your left side will be called the resistance line. Because the trend is going up. Whenever the price hits that line and it retreats, it turns, it goes back up. That is the trend, the resistance line. Okay, and that point is called the lower low, and the up line is called the lower high. Okay, because the trend is going low and the trend is going high. The trend is going low and the trend is going high. Let me try to correct this statement or try to clarify the statement on the next lesson. I hope you understand it. Let's look at this chart again. Let's concentrate on where it is marked red, and the lines also there. See, in this chart, we are looking at the candlesticks, formation of black and white candlesticks. Now you see 2 arrows pointing up. They are pointing to you that this particular chart is an uptrend chart. Those red points that you are looking at up there and down here, they represent what we call lower high and higher low. Am I correct? Lower high and higher low. Am I correct on that uptrend? No. Bear in mind, here we are using the lower high and the higher high. It's LH and HH. The next point, the third point, you see, let me try to call this lines by 1, 2, 3. The bottom red circle there, the first bottom red circle there, which there is a blue line crossing to it, indicates the arrow that goes up. That red circle there indicates that we are in the lowest, highest point now. We are in, highest, lowest point, not lower, highest, lower point. We are in the uptrend. We start with HL, not LH, HL. We are in the highest, lower point. You see, when the candle goes up there, when the candlestick goes up there to the top circle there, red circle there, underneath your arrow indicating up, you see that is what we call the highest point of the market at that time. And again, the candle went down again. There is a circle there. We are in the highest low. The candle went up there. We are in the higher high, highest low, higher high, highest low, higher high, highest low, higher high, highest low, and higher and highest low. Then we have a trend reversal there. Okay? Make sure that you study this chart trend trend pattern so that you can understand, or chart momentum chart frames so that you can understand what you are doing. The very same example there again showed about that, and the third time the very same example showed about that. Let's move to this one here. Now this is a real trading picture here. I think yes, most definitely it has been edited and analyzed. Okay, again this is a borrowed picture again, but you can see where the first on your bottom left corner there, you see that there is a red circle there, and there is an indication called low in red color, low. You see that? Now that's where the lowest point of this particular chart started from, and it moved to that highest point there where it's indicated red, the red circle again, and it's called HH. You see that? Because this is an uptrend. The higher, okay? Higher high, it's called higher high. And again, the trend went down and it's called higher low. You see there are indication there on the screen. You can download these pictures and look at them. So this is an uptrend again, okay? The lowest point of an uptrend, the lowest price of an uptrend, where the uptrend began, we call it the higher low. The highest point price of the trend, where the trend is at that current time when you are still trading, is called the higher high. And when again the trend goes down and the trend goes up again, you are giving the lowest high that is previously from the first one, is above the first one. So now you must understand that the lower high, higher low system comes when the first and lower, the higher lower is less than the second higher low, and the third higher low must be higher than the two last higher low. Again, go back to the higher high. The first high must be less than the second higher high, and the first and the second higher high, they must be less than the third higher high. So now that is an uptrend. Okay, a downtrend is the reversal of the statement. The first lower high, it must be above the second lower high, and the first and the second lower high, they must be above the third lower high, because the trend is going up, vice versa, just like that. Okay, there it is. Look at that example of a downtrend. The lower high, it is above the second lower high, and the second lower high is above the third lower high, and the lower high, the third lower high is above the fourth lower high. Let us look at the lower low there. The lower low, first lower low, is above the second lower low. The second lower low is above the third lower low. Just like that. Okay, let's go back to an uptrend. An uptrend, the first higher high is above, is lower, it is lower than the second higher high, and the second higher high, it is lower than the third higher high. That is an uptrend. Okay. Okay, again we are there. So this is where we will end our lesson on uptrends and downtrends. Hope you truly understood this particular lesson on uptrends and downtrends. Hope you did understand. Where you didn't understand, I will advise you to go back to our video again, our lesson, and try to listen to what I'm trying to teach you there. If you don't understand, go back to our Facebook group, exclusive investors Forex trading guidelines, and communicate with us there, or go to our YouTube channel and leave me comments there under our Academy, Forex Academy, Forex Trading Academy, and I will get back to you. But the channel is not yet established. We're still going to reconstruct the current channel that we are having into a Forex trading channel. So basically, contact us into our Facebook group. We'll communicate with you guys. These videos are also uploaded in our Forex Trading Academy channel, which is in construction at the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you again for taking lessons with our institution. Again, our disclaimer, as we all know, goes something like, let me just go back to that. Okay, MFM Group is a financial management group. This group is not yet registered with the Financial Service Board of South Africa, and internationally, we do not collect funds and trade on behalf of people. We do not manage accounts of people, and we do not offer financial advice. But what we do, we offer educational advice, educational purposes in the financial market, and also trading. We are training people how to trade. And also, this is an organization, this is a company. We charge for our services. Those who want to be our student and come and learn trading with us, the fees are charged at 3,500 from the basic concept of how to trade to the last point of opening a trading platform and start to trade. Okay, we will talk to you about all these financial products that we have when we meet face to face, or when you come to our offices. And again, at this particular moment, we are not yet registered as a financial advisor company, but we are an investment company. We invest in other people's companies and things like that. So thank you very much for joining us. Note that the financial markets are a very highly risky investment. So be careful. Whatever that you invest in the financial market, you can lose it or you can make money out of it. So be careful. Be careful. This institution is not a financial advisory firm. We do not advise people on financial products, where to invest, how to invest, and things like that. We are not yet registered, but we are just an educational company yet at this particular moment. Thank you very much for joining us. May God bless you.